Hello everyone. UPSC has come out with its notification. A lot of you are confused regarding how to fill up the form. So I have gone through the notification and now I'll help you out in terms of how to fill up the UPSC Civil Services Examination 2024 PT form. Okay. I'll keep it in English so that students from multiple language can understand that. सो एक बार देखते हैं 2024 के पीटी के फॉर्म को यूपीएससी ने जो नोटिफिकेशन में बताया है क्या क्या बताया है ओके यू कैन सी यूपीएससी सीएससी नोटिफिकेशन हैज कम अ फ्यू आवर्स बैक ओनली एंड इसमें कुछ कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें जो कोर है आई विल बी एबल टू और आई विल बी एक्सप्लेनिंग यू दोज थिंग्स सो इन टर्म्स ऑफ हाउ टू अप्लाई आई हैव अंडरलाइंड आल्सो सम थिंग्स. Now the point is you need to understand that you have to fill one-time registration form. एक बार one-time registration form you have to fill for those students who have already filled up this OTR or the one-time registration form. You don't need to fill it up again. However, जिन्होंने आज तक इसको कभी नहीं भरा है, you have to go to the UPSC website and वहाँ पे आपको OTR मिल जाएगा. Okay, just to show you. Let's say if I Google and then I go to the UPSC site, it is clearly here a one-time registration. So OTR you have to do it once. Those students who have already filled it up, आपको दोबारा यहाँ पे नहीं जाने की जरूरत है. Now those students once you fill this up or those students who have already filled this up, जिन्होंने भर दिया है या पहले भर चुके हैं, वो फिर इस वेबसाइट में जाएंगे to fill up their form. However, before you go there, I will tell you what all things are required और किन किन चीजों का आपको ध्यान देना है. Okay. Now, when you are filling the OTR, it is clearly written that in case the candidate wants to go in for any change, जब भी आप OTR कोई form, basically one time registration form आप भर रहे हैं, उसमें एक ही बार basically you can go in for change. That the student shall only be allowed to go in for change only once in lifetime. Means OTR cannot be changed multiple times. एक ही बार allowed होगा आपको change करने के लिए. So therefore be very careful once you fill the OTR. Okay. Now, if at all you want to change your form, let's say OTR आपने भर दिया है. If at all there's a mistake, you can do it only once in terms of changing. However, let's say you are filling up the CSC form, आप फॉर्म भर रहे हैं and in that context आपसे कोई mistake होती है तो वो भी आपको change करने के लिए allowed है. Okay. However, that this window of the change, इसमें confusion नहीं रखना है. OTR में change एक ही बार कर सकते हैं. However, अगर आप फॉर्म जो normal भर रहे हैं CSC के PT का, in that context आपको अगर चेंजेस चाहिए सो दैट विंडो विल रिमेन ओपन फॉर 7 days बेसिकली जब भी उसके लास्ट डेट आएगा. अगर लेट्स से आई वुड रिपीट इट वंस अगेन दैट द लास्ट दिस विंडो विल रिमेन ओपन फॉर 7 days फ्रॉम द डेट ऑफ ओपनिंग ऑफ द सेम, दैट इज फ्रॉम 6 March 2024 to 12th March 2024. सो लास्ट जो 5th March के बाद जो अगर आप डेट देख रहे हो दैट इज 6 to 12, that is for 7 days आप अपने फॉर्म में चेंज करवा सकते हैं. But this is not the OTR. Okay. Now, the photograph or the photo ID which you need to keep with you is already mentioned. You can pick up anyone, that is Aadhaar, voter ID card, PAN card, passport, driving license, any other photo ID card issued by central or the state government. Make sure ये जो photo ID card है, this has to be with you in terms of when you are appearing for the exam also, चाहे PT हो, mains हो और personality test के context में भी. Okay. So it is clearly written, used for all future references. Okay. So be careful regarding this photo ID जो भी आप use कर रहे हैं. Now, the online application can be filled up to 5th March. So that is the last date. I would not suggest you to wait till 5th March. Basically, the centers also जो होते हैं, they have got limited seats. And if at all the seats are filled up, you may be given another center altogether. So I would suggest that hurry में नहीं भरना है, but at the same time do not wait for the last date. Okay, that is 5th March up to 6 PM. Okay. Now, The UPSC will not send you admit card by post. आपको post से admit card नहीं मिलेगा. It will be given to you 1 week approximately before the examination. So you don't need to worry कि when I'll be getting the admit card. However, I'll tell you exactly in terms of when you are submitting a fee or your fee and उस time पे कोई problem होती है तो what to do. Okay. Now, UPSC has introduced that if at all there are issues in context of the question paper, then also you can go in for the representation that there are issues in these questions, but then it is not related to filling up the form. This context comes into the picture after the exam. That is, you can clearly see that here it is written that the commission has introduced a time frame of 7 days from the next day of the examination date. Next day of the examination date means PT ke baad, that is 26 May ke baad. So therefore, at the moment currently you don't have to worry about this context. However, this is a very good initiative. Now, if at all you are facing any problem, you can call up UPSC directly on any working day from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. As you have been appearing in your colleges and different kinds of competitive examination also, a lot of time we find that students face problem, बहुत students को problem होती है regarding technology in terms of gadgets या कोई अलग type का कोई instrument वो लेके आते हैं तो उनको मना किया जाता है that you cannot bring these kinds of instruments into the center and same thing यहाँ पे भी clear cut बोला हुआ है that please don't bring it. So I would also suggest that do not carry these kinds of equipment because you've got so many types of schools are there. They may make a provision for keeping these kinds of let's say instruments. However, हो सकता है वो मना कर दे तो unnecessarily परेशान नहीं होना है उस दिन on the date of your exam. Therefore, I would suggest not to carry it, or if somebody else is going with you, make sure that you give it to them. Okay. Now, इस पे ध्यान दीजिए. The photograph which you are going to upload should not be more than 10 days old. जब भी आप भर रहे हैं, it should not be more than 10 days old. Lot of time we used to see students एक बार photograph खिंचवा लिए and then maybe it could be a 5 or 10-year-old photograph also. They've been uploading it. However, UPSC is very much clear that should not be more than 10 days old from the start of the online application process. So 10 दिन से ज़्यादा पुराना नहीं होना चाहिए. And ensure that the name of the candidate, आपका नाम, and the date on which the photograph was taken, जिस दिन आपने वो फोटो खींची हुई है, both are clearly mentioned on the photograph. So both should be clearly mentioned on the photograph. So there is one way is that you take a page and on that you write your name in bold and you also write the date and you can hold it like this and then you can click your photograph. So it would have both the things. Okay. At the same time, they've mentioned that the candidate's face should occupy 3/4 of the space of the photograph. So 3/4 is, आप अंदाजा उसको लगाएंगे कि आपका face clearly visible होना चाहिए and the kind of space it needs to be given. ठीक है? So आप ऐसे अपने detail पकड़ के अपना नाम and अपना the date on which it has been clicked the photograph, आप वो click करके photograph खींचेंगे and you'll give space and the decent space to your face. Okay? Also, the appearance must match with their photograph. इसका मतलब है lot of students जैसे क्या करते हैं, they keep beard in the photograph but exam में जाएंगे तो beard नहीं होगी, या फिर अभी they are clean shaven and then later on they grow a beard. It is not allowed. If you keep a mustache, you have to continue with that till the time your final selection is not there. आप नहीं रखते हैं तो आप बीच में अपना appearance नहीं change कर सकते हैं. They've clearly mentioned that their appearance must match with their photograph. Match clear होना चाहिए at each stage of the examination, चाहे वो PT हो, चाहे वो mains हो या फिर interview ho. Therefore, make sure you know that what kind of let's say features you would like to continue with in terms of you would like to go in beard, let's with beard या with mustache, या आपको clear ये पता होना चाहिए. ठीक है? Now, they've mentioned that you have to reach the examination center 30 minutes prior, but basically today we are concentrating on how to fill up the form. Okay, in that context, so बाकी चीजों पे we are not concentrating. अभी सिर्फ exam form कैसे भरें उस पे concentrate कर रहे हैं in terms of the details which would be required. Okay. Here the services are mentioned, but at the moment you don't need to know about all the services. At the moment you can see 21 services are there. Total number of seats 1056 vacancy जो आई हैं. This time we have got 1056 vacancies. Okay. Now it is see UPSC mentions that there are students who may not be getting finally selected in the exam. They may not be the one who may be coming into the list. However, their details would also be published. But it is not in context of anything negative, but ये बहुत positive context में the commission is trying to do what? They are making sure that unemployment जो है वो और कम हो जाए. See, lot of time the mark sheet, the names, the details, or these kinds of, let's say how much did they score in different exams are taken into consideration by other exams or organizations also. So this would help those students, those who would like to appear for other exam, maybe it could be any other government service, who would say that if you have given UPSC interview, आप हमारे यहाँ पे directly आके interview दे सकते हैं. But this is not for anyone who is appearing for prelims. ये final जो interview दे रहे हैं and then not getting selected, ये उनके context में था ये. ठीक है. Now, in terms of the services and then what kind of categories are they are allowed into, मतलब physical disability या किस context में, all these things are mentioned. Now, UPSC has given you the options. Currently, I believe they have got around 80 options where you can give your exam. So yes, we have got option till 80. That is, so around 80 centers you can appear or you can apply in terms of your options. Where you would like to give your prelims exam, आप कोई भी एक जगह आप चुन सकते हैं. So you have the option and you pick it up faster so that at least center close down ना हो जाए, at least because ज़्यादा लोग आ गए तो center वो close down हो जाएगा. In mains you don't have so many options, limited options comparatively हो जाएंगे. You have 24 centers for your mains. Okay, I have mentioned that first apply basically anybody who comes and let's say कोई एक center में apply कर रहा है and वो center भर जाए तो वो कॉन्टेक्ट जो होंगे वो सेंटर्स पे आपको अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं दी जाएगी टू अपीयर फॉर द पेपर. दैट इज व्हाट आई हैव मेंशनड. Now, in terms of the eligibility, you need to be a citizen. A lot of people believe that non-citizen cannot give the exam. Non-citizen can also give the exam. However, वो कुछ limited countries के लोग ही हैं जो non-citizen होके भी they can appear for the exam. These things are mentioned. However, IAS, IFS, and the police service is specifically only for the Indian citizen. See, a candidate should be 21 to give the exam 1st August of 2024. If you are turning up to be 21, then you are eligible to apply. At the same time, maximum age is 32. Okay. So to count, you will take in the criteria of or the date of 1st August 2024. There are certain relaxation for people belonging to different categories. Okay, so even exemption or certain relaxation is given to people in terms of defense services also. Now, to accept in terms of the date of birth, they will accept your 10th के mark sheet के context में और 10th में जो birth certificate के context में जो date आपने दिया होगा, whatever the date is mentioned in the matriculation or the SSC certificate, they will be considering that as your date of birth. Okay, now be careful. Once a date of birth has been submitted, एक बार आपने date of birth आपने mention कर दिया, now you are not allowed to change the date. So be very careful regarding the date. However, yes, UPSC does clearly says that if there is an unintentional error, you would be given some form of assistance. However, I would tell you that unnecessarily आपकी परेशानी बढ़ जाती है. So make sure that be very careful regarding how you fill up the form. Okay. If at all you want to go in for any kind of representation, अगर आपको UPSC से communicate करना है, so make sure that आप ये सारी डिटेल के साथ ही UPSC से contact करेंगे. Okay, so you can pause the video and look into the details. If at all there is an error and you would like to communicate with the UPSC, then आपके लिए ये चीजें भी important है. Okay, so make sure आप registration number भी अपना save करके रखें. A person must be a graduate to appear for this exam. However, those students जो final year में है, they can also apply, but they have to make sure that once they are writing mains, before that they have all the documents that they have cleared the examination in terms of they are graduate. ठीक है, फाइनल ईयर वाले भी अप्लाई कर सकते, दैट इज व्हाट आई वाज mentioning. Now you can see clearly it is written general can have up to basically 6 attempts and the SC/ST can have unlimited attempts, the OBC 9 attempts and persons with benchmark disabilities are also allowed 9 attempts. When you talk about fee is 100 rupees. 100 rupees is not for everyone. There are certain sections who are exempted. Exempted में आप देखिए females, SCs, STs and persons with benchmark disability, they are not supposed to pay any fee. अगर आप कैश मोड से पे कर रहे हैं, आई वुड टेल यू दैट यू हैव टू सी दैट द डेट, द क्लोजिंग डेट जो होगी एक दिन पहले होगी आपके लिए. दैट इज इफ यू सी दैट इफ गोइंग फॉर द पे बाय कैश, योर एस्पेक्ट और फिलिंग अप द डॉक्यूमेंटेशन पे आप देखेंगे 4th मार्च आ रहा है आपके पास, जबकि 5th मार्च की डेट आ रही है. सो आई वुड टेल यू दैट इफ एट ऑल गोइंग बाय पे बाय कैश, आप और जल्दी कोशिश करें अपने फॉर्म भरने की, सो दैट यू स्टिल हैव अ विंडो. बट देन इफ यू कैन गो इन फॉर एनी टेक्निकल और लेट्स से ऑनलाइन एस्पेक्ट, आई वुड सजेस्ट दिस इज द बेस्ट, द easiest. नाउ लेट्स से there could be a possibility you have filled up the form, you have paid the prescribed fee, however UPSC में proper detail आपकी नहीं पहुंची है due to some technical issue or some other issue. But the point is, if at all this kind of issue is there, UPSC will come up with a list. आप देखिए that for those applicants in whose case payments details have not been received by the institution, that is UPSC, the commission will come up with the details of those let's say aspirants. These details would be coming up after, let's say, or within 2 weeks of the last day of the submission of online application. So जब भी यह 5th मार्च होगी, so आप 2 हफ्ते के अंदर make sure that you look into the UPSC website कि कहीं आपकी details उस पे नहीं है, because you may be thinking you have paid the prescribed fee, however because of some issue details are not with the UPSC. ठीक है, एक बार उसमें भी आप चेक कर लीजिएगा. They'll ask you in context of the details, so आप make sure whatever amount you have paid, registration में आप उसमें photograph आप उसका click करके रखें अपने पास for future any kind of references. Okay, they would also inform you through email, but the point is that it is your duty also to look into UPSC website की कहीं भी just to double cross check क्योंकि आपका नाम तो नहीं आया है उस लिस्ट में. Okay, now it clearly mentions no fee exemption is available to OBC and EWS candidates. Okay, so यहाँ पे clear cut I have told you exemption किन किन को दिया गया है, but they have again specified किन किन के लिए नहीं है. So general category, the OBC and the EWS, they don't have any fee exemption. Now if you see all these things I have already mentioned, these things are already mentioned. ये फिर से repetition थोड़ा सा with different language it is there. However, if you notice here they have clearly mentioned that candidates are not required to submit any certificate at the moment. Currently you are not supposed to submit any documents. They'll ask for these documents at the later stage. However, the documents, let's say you require a certificate and that certificate date cannot be in context of कि UPSC ने जो dates दी हुई हैं in terms of filling up the form, उसके बाद के certificates होंगे. So therefore make sure all your documents in terms of certifications are in the right manner. Okay. One more information, that is you cannot change your category if you fill the form in general and later on you feel like that I am an OBC or maybe I was from the scheduled caste, however I wanted to fill up the form in general and later on I would like to take the benefit of the reservation, it will not be allowed. आप जो category में है you can fill up the form in general, however आप बीच में shift नहीं कर सकते हैं. So if you want to take the benefit of reservation, आप उसी category में form भरिएगा, बीच में shifting allowed नहीं है. And this is what the notification was talking about in terms of information which is required or how to fill up the form. However, once you apply, you would find different issues also. For that also, you can contact us. The other, let's say it's more than 150 odd pages notification, but then that's regarding the scheme of examination, the options and other things, which is not required at the moment for you to fill up the form. Okay. If at all you would like to contact us, you can contact the numbers given below. So with the information I have shared, जो भी मैंने आपको बताया हुआ है, इससे at least आप फॉर्म भरने की प्रक्रिया को स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं. However, there also you may face problem, and for that you can contact us anytime on the number given below. Thank you. All the best.